Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt Kowalis from Detroit Sports Bettors, and we are back with the Detroit Sports Bettors YouTube series. Okay, last week got pretty tough with both conference finals game, just because the Trae Young and Giannis news got a little tough with everything going on. It was tough for me to predict that Clippers series with the Kawhi Leonard news and everything up and down. Reggie Jackson was just kind of playing lights out. Paul George was playing lights out. And yeah, it got a little tough, especially on the other side with the Hawks and the Bucks series. That got really tough for me just because sometimes the line would be out, sometimes it wouldn't be out. With the Giannis news, the line was shifting, player point props were shifting, and then with the Trae Young news, all the same thing with Atlanta. The player points were shifting, the lines were shifting, the over/under was shifting, and it's tough to give you guys a good projection, a good player point prop, a good line when stuff like that is going on. So I just decided to take a quick break, wait for a new series to start, and here we are. The Milwaukee Bucks versus the Phoenix Suns for game one of the NBA Finals. All right. But before I get into that, this YouTube series is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. And if you sign up with DraftKings Sportsbook right now and you use the code DSB, you can turn $1 into $100 by picking your preferred moneyline team in the NBA. So tonight, if you're new to this, put in the code DSB, and then you get a bet to put $1 on the moneyline team. Pick the Suns. That's what I'm going with today, at least. And you can turn $1 into $100. All right? So, and before we get into that again, Detroit Sports Bettors is now on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We have a podcast on Apple and Spotify, which we're releasing an episode today as well. And I cover the NBA draft and give a ton of NBA player draft spots in that. They've actually switched up numerous things that I've talked about. Like I talked about that international player one. They changed that to just players not drafted in the NCAA because that was a lock on the under with that one. That was the easiest bet I've ever taken. And then again, they took it over under 2.5 for international players. I said under again. That was plus 130. I said under again because with that one, it's going to be Jalen Green, Jonathan Kuminga, and then maybe Josh Giddey drafted 10th to the Pelicans because Lonzo's gone. But I just don't see Giddey being that high. There's a lot of good players in this draft, and I don't see Giddey going top 10. That was at plus 130. I told everyone to take the under there, and now it's up to minus 113. So the books are definitely getting a little worried about that as well. I mean, there's no doubt Giddey could still go 10 potentially. I mean, I've seen crazier things, but it doesn't fit into me. It just doesn't. So, but we're not going into that now. Go look at the podcast if you want to hear about the NBA draft. And because literally pick 1 through 4, has all changed and I projected it. It was all plus money. So I hope some of you got that earlier. Now it's like minus 140, 150, 160. Go check it out. Listen to the podcast. So today though, Bucks versus the Suns. All this comes down to is Giannis. This whole series comes down to Giannis and his knee. Giannis is the huge mismatch in this series. It would be Jay Crowder, Cam Johnson, Dario Saric, and Mikal Bridges trying to guard him, and none of them would be able to guard him. Jay Crowder would get in foul trouble immediately, and then it would be a feast on Cam Johnson or Mikal Bridges. Dario Saric far too slow. The other ones are just too small. DeAndre Ayton would do some things, but then Brook Lopez, if he's hitting his threes and he draws Ayton out to the three-point line, then yeah. I would like the Bucks in this series. I actually would if Giannis was playing, just because he's such a big mismatch. All around, yes, do I like the Suns better? I do. But other than that, you need Giannis. With Giannis, I'm Bucks. I'm Bucks in 6, Bucks in 7, probably 7. If Giannis could come back, I still think that the Bucks could potentially do this. But without him, I'm not going to take a series line. I didn't even look at that, honestly. I don't even know if they have him out with Giannis because the books probably need to know. But yeah, without Giannis, Suns, obviously. With Giannis, I think I go Bucks, and I think it's in 7. But for today, I'm going Suns minus 6 here. And then I'll also be taking that Suns boost, that 25 for a plus 100 odd Suns money line, which like I said, I'll do that as well. So Suns minus 6, the Suns money line boost. Make sure to check out that DraftKings boost. And here's why. For one, it's a quick turnaround for the Bucks. The Bucks played, I believe, 2 nights ago, a longer series. So yeah, I like the Suns there. And then again, it's not like the Bucks are good in game 1. The Bucks lost to Brooklyn by 8 in the game 1 in that series. They barely beat the Heat by 3 points in that game 1 in the first round. And then Atlanta took game 1 when the Bucks were favored as well. So there's another one. So yeah, they're not very good in game 1. And then the home team in the NBA Finals is 15-1 in game 1 right now by an average of 13.8 points per game. So again, Suns are at home. That kind of checks out, as you guys know, and if you've been following, you know I'm a statistics guy. So I love little shit statistics like that. Just let you buy in, you know. But I'm gonna ride with that. Why not? You got to have some reasoning behind your picks. So that's one of mine. And then I got another little crazy statistic, which is Chris Middleton. Whenever he takes 20 plus shots, the Bucks are 0-7 in the game after. Last game he took 20 plus shots. So I'm gonna ride with the Phoenix Suns. Also, the over-under for this game is 219.5. I'm leaning over. This is not my favorite pick in the world, but I'm leaning over 219.5. One, because Giannis is out. The pace of play doesn't really change from when Giannis is in, Giannis is out. I think this is more of a matchup, too, where Phoenix runs as their opponent does. Milwaukee tends to pace up a little bit, so I think this is going to be a little faster, score some more baskets. And again, there's no Giannis, so there's less rebounds, more offensive rebound opportunities, less middle congestion. Brook Lopez is not what he used to be. He's a little slow. I mean, a little slower, much slower than Giannis, and that's a rebounder in Giannis, that's a shot blocker in Giannis, and that's a key defender in Giannis that they do not have. So in turn, that can mean more points. So I'm going to be going with the over 219.5. Another thing that I love, and I've always loved, I think I've said this in every Suns video, is the DeAndre Ayton player performance double. That is down to minus 106 on DraftKings Sportsbook now. When we were getting that at plus 150 before, but the man's just been eating. He's been playing exceptional these playoffs. He's just been a stud. I didn't check out any series MVP lines, but the one that I would like best would probably be Chris Paul. I bet you that'd be like plus 350 or plus 400. I think that's a really good bet right now. I mean, yeah, I would assume Devin Booker be the favorite, but who was the MVP of last series? That's probably Chris Paul. So why can't he do it again, especially against the Bucks? You know, I'm sure Drew Holiday will be guarding Devin Booker. And then Middleton, I don't know. That'll be interesting. I'll have to see that. But I think Chris Paul could be a good MVP bet. Check that out. So again, the DeAndre Ayton minus 106 for the player performance double. I think that's a very good bet right there. And then lastly, the Devin Booker player performance double. That's 28 plus points and the Phoenix Suns win. In game 1 against the Clippers, Devin Booker had 40. In game 1 against the Lakers, Devin Booker had 31. Both Phoenix wins as well. So Devin Booker likes to jump on his opponent early and try and get his team to win, and not necessarily do it himself, but really assert himself and try and get a flow for the series. One thing I want to comment on is I always do the player performance double if both tie up with the team I think that's going to win and the player that I think is going to do good kind of come together. But remember, both of these bets, you can go and make them on your own. Like Devin Booker doesn't have to have the win. You can take the over 27.5 on the regular. So that's just one thing I wanted to add in there. But for me, that's the play today. And there's only one game. I'm not going to do the NBA draft stuff just yet. I want you to go check that out on the podcast because I feel really, really good about that. The favorites are exactly what I've been saying from day one when they were plus 150, plus 175. So that kind of sucks. But I mean, I did get some of those and I have been talking about them, but I waited on the video thinking I didn't think it would switch that to that much, but I have talked about it. So hopefully some of you guys got this, but let's get back to some winning ways. I believe I'm 64-48 now in the NBA playoffs, which is still okay, but it's kind of a far cry from where we started. But hey, you know, we got 4 picks today. Let's go 4-0 today. And then we got the draft coming up. I know I'm going to be right on a lot of that draft stuff. I really, really do. So again, as always, thank you for checking this video out. We are on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. Our podcast is on Apple and Spotify, which is really cool because we talk about this weekend, the Rocket Mortgage Classic, which we really do appreciate you guys in the community. Thank you for being so cool and so awesome, so supportive, so positive. You know, you can really feel this stuff growing. You can feel all the communities growing, these companies growing. You can feel things like the Rocket Mortgage Classic growing. We want to be one of these spots where these top-notch athletes come and they hang out and they do these tournaments, and they talk about how great Detroit is in the community there. And that's how we build things. So I appreciate you guys. Give me a thumbs up, give me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me what you think or what your prediction is for today's games too in the comment section, because I like to do that too. I like to see other people's picks, and sometimes I jump on other people's picks. So again, as always, I am Matt Kowalis from Detroit Sports Bettors. Thank you for tuning in, and let's go Suns, and let's get some wins today. Good luck today, guys.